that we would do the Tailgate Talks regular
Yeah.
season awards,
Give out some awards.
give out some of our own personal awards, shout out some players. So Dustin, you take that away for us as well.
Yeah, so we're just going to list off some awards we kind of got or thought of or stood out to us. It might be random. We might not both have it. We might have something that somebody else didn't think about. But start out obviously with MVP of the team. I give mine to Kurt Wilson, actually. Um, Kurt was the clutchest player on this team this year, and I think his two walk-off wins against Texas really set the table for how our Big 12 went and was like our trajectory went so high from there because we could have easily gotten swept that weekend here at home, and Kurt steals home
Yeah.
to win that one first game, and then walk off grand slam to win game two, and he just had so many clutch hits and home runs. He was your clutchest player this year, I believe, and really started you off good against your rival Texas.
Yeah, so I was gonna go Jace just because I
Yeah.
think without him, all of our players get a little bit worse
Oh yeah.
without having him in the lineup. I don't think still
Everything
well.
revolves
Yeah.
around Jace for sure.
And so I'm glad you went Kurt, so we have a little bit of different answers there. But yeah, I think you just got to shout out Jace, and like we already talked about with his first team nomination, just might have not had the home run numbers this year, but every time he gets up to the plate, whether he's an out or not, it makes the pitcher work for it, and that pitcher definitely sweats him every time he comes up. So just to do the numbers he had again this season, and then also just consistency out in the field, I think Jace is a given for that anyway.
Yeah, like I said, everything revolves around Jace. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a great second baseman for you. Doesn't mess up over there, and then the dude is hard to pitch and swings freaking hard. If you mess up, he's gonna make you pay. We go pitcher next. Obviously, Birdsell is your pitcher of the conference and first team guy. But I'm also gonna mention we mentioned Andrew Morris earlier, but so I think it's Andrew Morris for you because winning those Friday games sets you up so much
Yeah.
for Birdsell to win the series for you, but also like you weren't as pressured. Like going 7-1, winning that first game was so good, especially like early on when your Sunday and your bullpen was not set and you were struggling.
Yeah.
That was really clutch that he started you off really well. So I'm gonna give mine to Andrew Morris.
Yeah, I think back to that West Virginia series where things had just kind of fallen off for you, and you had that double header, and you get down 5-1 in that game, and then Morris was able to just settle things down. Your offense started clicking. He pitched the complete game. But yeah, I think Birdsell, you have to give it to him because,
Yeah.
like you said, Morris did the setup. But I mean, there's only been a few Tech guys that I can name that I felt as guaranteed of a victory every time they were starting as Birdsell. Like Gingrey in that year, it was
Right.
like whenever Gingrey's starting, we're winning. There was that
Yeah.
Killian year where every time he started, he knew we're pretty much going to win. That's how Birdsell was this year. It was like Saturday start, Birdsell's winning.
For
Or
sure.
he's at least giving us a really good damn chance to win. So just to have that consistency from a starter all year is just really impressive. But I think either of those guys well deserving.
Very much. I have a most improved player for us.
Yeah, I think I know where
That
you're
is
going.
that is going to be Parker Kelly.
That's what I figured.
He hit 291 this year. For the last couple years, he's been a lockdown defensive third baseman. He was still that, obviously, but he would only come in late eighth or ninth inning as a defensive substitution and was usually an automatic
Yeah.
strikeout or out. In previous years and this year, he really burst on the scene. 291 average, like I said, 10 home runs. Way, way, way improved from years past. Now he's a fifth-year senior, but late bloomer, and that was a question mark coming into this year was, is he going to be the guy over there, and how much pop does he give you? Or are we going to interchange a couple guys like we did last year with that position with him? So he really helped you and gave you a good defensive third baseman that can hit solidly in that, I think, 6 or 7 spot. So good job, Parker Kelly, on improving this year.
For me, I went with the guy you used for MVP. I went with Kurt Wilson for most
Yeah.
improved. From considering his roles from previous years, which were kind of fill in whatever position we needed him to, pitched some, played outfield some, to coming in this year and locking up shortstop for you, and then also, just becoming a reliable player on offense for you as well. He was super consistent all season long. Um, I don't know his home run totals. I think it's like, he's either right there with Jace or right behind him, but
He's one behind Jace. I think
one
Jace has
behind Jace.
14, and
Yeah,
yeah, Kurt had
13.
13.
But, he became a really reliable player for you. Like you said, had your two biggest, like, clutchest moments of the season against Texas. So I don't think anybody before the season started had him being like this player for you this year. So that's why I went Kurt Wilson. Big Kurt.
Big Kurt. All right, those are the three major awards. I have one kind of wild card one. Do you have any wild card ones we didn't think of or you thought of randomly?
I had like most, maybe like best defensive play, and I would probably put Parker Kelly's little third base save in that
Oh,
Oklahoma State game
yep.
to save you a couple runs and keep you in the lead of that game. Offensive play of the game, pick or choose your Kurt Wilson heroic.
Yeah, a Kurt
Uh,
Wilson play.
and I don't, most reliable outfielder, Dylan Carter, things like that. That I think. What do you got?
So I have wild pitcher of the year goes to Andrew Devine
Yeah,
with his Oklahoma State performance.
yeah,
He threw two warm-up pitches over the backstop. He luckily threw pitch number one right down the middle. Guy on first would have tied or one. Yeah, would have tied the game or on third. Sorry. And then luckily he threw three in the dirt and lured that guy on third into trying to steal home. And we got him in a pickle and won that game one against Oklahoma State. So wild pitcher of the year, Andrew Devine.
congratulations.
Congrats.
There's a lot of pitchers in the running for that award this year. Most reliable bullpen pitcher, your Derek Bridges, I guess. That'd be a
Oh,
significant
for
award.
sure. But like even Devine on Friday, the game I went to, warm up pitch over the catcher's head. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude.
When he comes in, I almost have to turn the TV off because it's just like I don't want to deal with this stress, bro.
We were doing so good in that game. I know he came up clutch and we still got a 0 on the board against them, but we just had, I think, 2 shutout innings from,
Beckel.
I can't remember, Beckel. And then I was like, who's coming in? The guy behind us goes, Divine. I'm like, oh, FY. Great.
Yeah,
So,
he scares the shit out of me every time he comes out.
he figured it out enough.
Talk to me in like a couple weeks, and my most improved might change to Chase Hampton. He's
No kidding. I
turned
had
a
him on
huge,
my honorable mention list.
he's turned a huge corner here at the end of the season to where like those last 2 starts was very
Boy, has he.
impressive, and so if he keeps that going, like he definitely deserves a shout out for that. So a third pitcher that you desperately need.
Yep, and that makes everybody's nerves feel way better, and they can relax. Like they don't have to press as much, and that includes games that he's not pitching. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to press as much game 1, game 2. You can relax. Whereas I know we did really well on game 1 and 2s this year, but we were also pressing pretty hard, and maybe could have done better there, and wore ourselves out by game 3 too. So maybe we can relax and stretch those wins out a little more in this
Yeah.
postseason with him. So yeah, I had him on that honorable mention list. So there's your Tailgate Talks baseball awards.